online? I'm just logging into the computer and I'm handing out a sign-in sheet for these guys here. Go ahead. Thank you. Okay. There are some people who are freaking out in the classroom here. So at around 4 o'clock this afternoon, I'm going to come back here and meet these guys. I can't meet these guys and not meet you guys as well. So if there is a time that you would like to have another Zoom session, would you like to have another Zoom session about your assignments?
Yeah.
Yes.
Great. All right. So we will have a tutorial about your assignments. I will post it on the forum so that you can, it will give you a little bit more confidence in what you're doing. Does the room here feel more confident about your 6-0 assessment after what I've just talked about? Hands up if you feel more confident. No, they don't feel any more confident. So you might be wasting your time with me, but we'll give it a go. All right, I'm just logging onto the computer to give you a step-by-step rundown on what I'm up to. Okay. So I know that there's a lot of people who are stressed about the assignments. So I want to give you the option, we can do the tutorial that I had planned, or we can talk through the assignment for an hour about and clear up any questions or concerns that you might have about it. What would you prefer to do? We'll go with the majority.
Assignment, please.
One assignment?
Assignment.
Hands up assignment in the room. We've got like 90% assignment here. All right. So shall we do a Q&A? Can you all see me, by the way? Or just hear? It's not pretty, so maybe just hearing me is better. How about we do a Q&A about the assignment? If you have a Q&A, I guess let's put some rules around this. I want to know that you've actually read and started the assignment before you ask a question. If you have a particular question about an aspect of the assignment, that's great. But if your question is, how do I do the assignment? I won't answer that, okay? So how about we start with the online crew first, because I haven't spoken to many of you today. Who would like to ask me a question? Do you need a few seconds to think about what question to ask me?
Yes, please.
No worries. So let's have 5 minutes.
So, Lydia, may I ask you a question?
Yes, Uma?
The question is, in the template, it says brief explanation of nursing intervention. That means what the nurse should do, that's the thing we have to write in there.
Which template is that, Uma?
I think we're in the
Are we talking about, oh, yeah. So we're doing NURS 20161 and 163 right now, Uma.
Okay, yeah. Sorry, I came late, that's why. Sorry.
That's okay.
Yeah.
So Uma, I will be doing a Zoom session for online people about 6-0. I will do that. I can't do it after, what time am I saying? I'm doing it 4 o'clock for these guys. I have something to do later this evening, so I can't do it this evening, but I'll try and do it on Monday. Please keep track of the forum where I post, and I will let you know when we're going to do an extra session, okay? I can say that people in this room generally are on track. And the one thing that you might be getting stuck on for this assignment, I've done a posting in the forum about, in the 6-0 assignment, I've done a posting about last night. It's a bit rubbish, but I thought I'd do it quickly to talk about, oh my God, I can't find 5 systematic reviews, what do I do? So watch that recording if you want to know what to do. By 7 o'clock tonight, lock in your research question, lock in your PICO question, because you will be here until Christmas trying to perfect it. If you don't lock it in, you're not doing a PhD, you're not being marked on a PhD level, so just work out the best question and let it drive the search. Don't read all the articles and then ask a question, because that becomes really obvious. The articles very rarely hit the question on the head. They very rarely answer it directly. So, yeah. All right, so that's it. That's all I'm going to talk about now.
What's the latest we can hand that in?
The latest you hand it in?
Yeah, submit it like tonight. Can it?
Oh, no, for yourself. No, you lock it in for yourself. That's a self. 7 p.m. tonight is a self-managed lock it in your question. Your assessment is, everybody should see what time their assessment is. It's a video hookup. Beck, have you seen your...
Sorry, I was talking about the consolidation that relates to the assignment, sorry.
Okay. All right, so shall we answer that question first? So, Monday, the assignment is due. Assessment 1 is due at midnight on Monday, the 2nd of September. But let me just double check something, because sometimes Moodle goes screwy, and if it's in the unit profile as a later time, just close your eyes if this is making you seasick. Oh my gosh. Second at 5 p.m. it says. So it's not midnight, guys. It's 5 p.m. If it's in the unit profile, that's what we go with, 5 p.m. I will change it in Moodle. I don't know why it's done that in Moodle. I apologise if that makes it unclear. I'll put a posting on the forum. Is everybody listening? Yes, all right. 5 p.m. NURS 20163, 5 p.m. Monday. The reason why it's 5 p.m. Monday is because if you have trouble uploading, you can ring TASAC, which is the IT help, to ask for help. If you need an extension, you've got to have so it's in the assessment policy, the conditions where you would be approved an extension. You need supporting evidence. We can accept an extension request up to 2 weeks after the assignment is submitted. But if it's not approved, then you'll be deducted 5% per day. Can I ask somebody with a notepad, because I don't have a notepad with me, to be my secretary, to write a list of jobs for Lydia? Could you do that for me? Sorry. Just put update Moodle time, just 5 p.m, because I'll forget and then I'll get crap student feedback because I didn't do what I said I was going to do. All right. Next question. Okay, so then I can say that people are getting a little bit confused with the template. Oh, there's a lot of unwell people online. Okay, this template is to help you organise your assessment piece. It's not meant to be the be-all and end-all. It's really giving you really strong hints on what to include in your responses in Mahara. So each of these sections will relate to one of the questions or sub-questions in the assignment. And the first question is about, well, you've got to do the critical reflection framework of analysis, right? And then consider any biases you might hold or any positive or negative internal biases that you might hold towards somebody who experiences domestic violence. And then separately, you do that same reflection again and consider how that impacts the attitudes, the beliefs, the feelings that you have towards people from Indigenous backgrounds in Australia. So I'm going to throw a question out to the class here, and for our students who might be international online, who really haven't had any other dealings with Indigenous people in Australia, what could you do to think about your thoughts or feelings about Indigenous people?
Learning more about them and their history, and so it could change our thoughts about them.
So this is a step before that.
Yeah.
So what do you think might affect your thoughts and feelings right now about Indigenous people? Are there other Indigenous people that you have maybe got some feelings or attitudes about? And does that mean that you have the same feelings and attitudes here in Australia? Have those attitudes and biases travelled with you to Australia? And are those stereotypes affecting the way that you think about people from Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander backgrounds? I'm not saying that they do. I'm saying that this might be a solution when you're thinking about, when you're saying to yourself, well, I don't know anything about Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people. Think about other groups that have similar health outcomes, maybe in your home countries, and the way you feel about them, and then maybe consider if that's travelled with you here. I definitely know that there are Indigenous cultures in the Philippines, but I don't know about India. Does anybody know? There's not? There is?
Yes.
Oh, tell me. In your loud voice.
In my place where I'm residing, there is Indigenous people.
Yes?
And their language is a bit different, especially the slang. And they use some different kind of words. And the physical features also different.
Okay,
Yeah.
great. So think about, when you're writing your assignment, think about, you can sit down now, it's okay. They're really well behaved in the class. When they ask a question, they stand up and it's adorable. Think about how that group is treated in your area. Are they treated differently? You don't have to answer this now, think about it. Are they treated differently? Why are they treated differently? Do you think that is it possible that you have brought those thoughts and feelings to Australia as well? If not, no worries, say no. But if you need to think about Indigenous people and you don't know what to say about Australian Indigenous people, talk about it from your own country perspective. It'll be super interesting for the markets and it will show a really huge level of insight. Okay, next question.
So, sorry, Lydia, the portfolio.
I can't hear you. Are you on mute? Wait a minute. Sorry, it's me. I put you on mute. Start again. Sorry.
No, so the portfolio will include that sheet that we just looked at.
Nah, it's a really messy looking sheet. Like, the portfolio's there for you to be really creative. So I think my intention was for you to upload this to Moodle, just so I can see your thought process.
Okay. And then we kind of just work off that, and then we kind of just do the journal articles, whatever it is, journal entries of those different questions, yeah, that you put there?
Yeah. Okay. So this is just to organise. Yeah. So this is just to organise your thinking.
Sure, okay, yeah.
So I have never used this before, and I have never spelt out all the elements of the critical reflection framework of analysis to students before. So I'm giving you a lot of hints this time. If it doesn't work, if you think it just makes things more confusing, please give me the feedback, because I change the assessments every single term. But if you think it just makes it more confusing than helpful, then give me the feedback at the end of the term. It'd be great to know. But importantly, you're doing your reflection on how you feel about Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people, and your reflection on how you feel about people with domestic violence histories. And then you're considering how those feelings intersect. There's something in the curriculum, if you've read far enough, called intersectionality. So maybe you can link this back to intersectionality. Hint, hint. There's a really cool author, Kimberly Crenshaw, who writes about intersectionality. And her PhD was looking at Black women, so two groups who have stigma, trying to buy cars, and how the attitudes of the car salesmen around them being women and about them being Black affected their ability to buy their car, to buy their damn car. So what I'm asking you to do is consider your attitudes to Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people and your attitudes towards victims of domestic violence, and how that might influence your nursing care. Everybody's answer should be different. It's definitely a personal reflection. This is a really, go for it.
How do we, because it's a personal reflection, how do we sort of incorporate the 10 articles? Is that just giving, like what, yeah, could you help me with that? Is that just from the information we've gathered and we put it together? Is that what you mean? So the reflective bit is definitely your own. Yeah.
But the theories, unless you are published, yeah, the theories will be from the literature.
Oh, sorry, yeah, of course, further down, yeah, sorry, yeah. Yeah, I've got the screen up now, yeah. Okay.
Also, see this the social determinant, the colonisation stuff, you can definitely resource with literature.
Okay.
So what am I talking about here? Colonising Act. So the Colonising Act might be removal of children from their families. How has that affected, what social determinant of health has that affected? And how is that related to the health outcome, which is domestic violence in this situation? So you've got to think about it. And you might have to suggest ways that it has affected rates of domestic violence, right?
How colonizing after, like there is any minimum for?
So I don't think I've set a minimum. Is there anything in the assessment? I'm looking for quality over quantity always. No. Sorry, guys. You might find one really good one. You might want to put 2 or 3 ones that you can't write too much on. I don't want 10, I want substance. I want quality, not quantity. Okay, and there's also literature you can cite around culturally safe nursing care as well. All right. Is this helping at all?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Could I ask a question?
Yep.
So part C, culturally safe practice. Do you want us to stipulate exactly how we would look after someone who discloses a history of domestic violence, and then, so like the step-by-step process, and then incorporate the culturally safe practice, i.e. the cultural awareness, the sensitivity, competence and safety?
That would be a really lovely way to apply this to the nursing context. That's great.
Like that. Cool.
Yeah, that's a really good idea. Did everybody hear that? Do you want to repeat that, Christine, for the class?
Yeah, sure. So for part C, we've been asked to look after a patient who is Indigenous and has disclosed a history of domestic violence. And I was just asking whether it would be best to do a step-by-step process on how we would assess someone who discloses a history of domestic violence and then incorporate the different areas of the culturally safe practice.
I think that's a really great idea. It really applies the knowledge to practice. It almost is something we call praxis. Has anybody heard of praxis? Praxis? That's when you apply theory to practice. Okay, great idea.
Sorry, Lydia. I got a question there since you mentioned about cultural safe there. It's just that you need to justify that with article. Is that right?
Definitely. Yeah. So don't forget there is some articles already in Moodle. I always get a little suspicious of students who aren't using the theory that I've provided already in Moodle. There's some really good resources in there. Yes. So should help. Mahara. Who's feeling a bit stressed about Mahara?
Me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Have you all had the opportunity to watch my Getting Started with Mahara video?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, was that useful at all, or do I need to up the ante?
No, I thought it was quite good.
Okay. And I have shared some, so this is where you find the video if you haven't seen it already. If you haven't watched it already, that's all right. There's an amnesty. You have until Sunday to watch it. Watch it. And then there are 3 Mahara portfolios that I've given you links to. So mine and 2 students who did a really good, whose Mahara looked really good. I'm not saying that their content was a HD standard. It's the way they've set out Mahara that looks really good. It's jazzy. So mine's basic. That's all I'm expecting. But some people are really creative and want to put their Mahara in really creative styles. And if that's what interests you, then that's why we've chosen this mode of assessment this time, because it does lend itself to some pretty creative ways of presenting your data, which is your assignment. So I have a student who did a really great presentation, and I'm just trying to wade through all my videos at the moment to find her presentation on how to do some high-end Mahara stuff. If I can find it, I will post it. I'm also trying to hunt her down. She's just finished her clinical placement. So once she's over the euphoria of passing the course, then I'm going to try and get her to do a little Zoom tutorial of Mahara, because it was really good and really clear, but probably more than I'm able to do. So if you want to keep it basic like mine, do it. Don't make it more complicated than it needs to be. But let's look what we've got for the uploads. Okay, so your rough copy, your written material, Beck, this is to answer the question that you had at the beginning, because my head was still in 6-0, sorry. Your written material, write everything first, like you're learning to do with the consolidation activities, write everything first in Word and upload it to Moodle as well. So write it in Word, put it in Mahara, upload it. I need to run it through Similarity, anti-plagiarism software. That's something that we need to do from the university side. It doesn't need to be beautiful. It's just, it's not being, my eyes are going, the marker's eyes are going to the Mahara page. This is just for the software. I don't care what it, I don't care what it looks like. Just put it on the Word file. Don't make life too difficult for yourself and upload it to Moodle. What happens if you forget? I probably send you a prompt. And if that means you don't submit everything until a day later, having submitted just Mahara the day before, if you, for some reason, the wheels fall off and you forget to upload your Word document, I'll send you a prompt. And if you upload it the next day, that'll be fine. I do realise that it is a really fast-paced course. There are a lot of components to it. There's a lot of checks and balances that I have to do on my end that make it a little bit complex sometimes. So if you forget, I will remind you. I'll send out a reminder on the forums as well, so please be checking those forums. I want to let you know that compared to other cohorts that have come before you, you're all doing really well. The questions that I'm getting on the emails are really insightful questions. It looks like people are well on their way. The work that I've seen in class today has been quite excellent for the stage that you're at. Trust the process. There's going to be so many times where you have this, I'm not quite sure what's happening here. I'm not quite sure if I'm doing the right thing. Just follow the template. It'll become easier. We learn in layers. It'll become easier to understand as we go along. For some of you, you haven't studied for decades. For some people, they haven't even used a computer before. Consider how far you've come in 4 weeks. Consider if you've ever done a literature review in your life before, and look how far you are now. There are some people whose questions are frankly better than my PhD question right now. So consider how far you've come in 4 short weeks, and by 12 weeks, how far you'll come again. You're all going great. I know this is starting to get, first assignments if you're full-time are due next week, so I get that you're getting a bit stressed right now. Who's learning anything through this unit? No one.
Everyone.
Are you learning things about yourself that you didn't know? Are you learning things about the country that you didn't know?
Yes, yes, country.
Yes.
Yeah. Hello, Jorik. It looks very cold where you are.
Yes, I am. Really cold out here.
Is that a Canada Goose
Sorry?
jacket? Is that a Canada Goose jacket?
Oh, no.
Okay.
Bigger.
Looks freezing. Anyway,
Yeah.
all right. Okay. So if you don't have any other questions, I think we should move on to culturally safe nursing practice. Okay? So, who can tell me what they know already about culturally safe nursing practice? I'll give you guys in the room a break. I'll throw it out to online first. Who wants to tell me some elements of culturally safe practice? A big hint is it's on the template that you've got for your assignment.
Being aware of your own values and beliefs and how that might impact your care.
Terrific. Yep.
We need to consider the patient values and beliefs, and according to that, we need to provide the nursing care.
Great.
And stop making assumptions. Try to listen their concerns.
Yeah. Who's that?
Narendra.
Ah, Narendra. Terrific. Okay. So, these are the 4 steps. There's more or less depending on which training you go for, but for this, do you need to get out? Are you all right? Okay. But depending on, yeah, we're teaching 4, other places will teach more or less. So cultural awareness, as Beck said, is understanding that you have a set of values and beliefs that are uniquely your own. Cultural sensitivity is understanding that other groups of people have different values and beliefs to your own. This is a very quick and dirty explanation. There's much more of an explanation in the curriculum. Cultural competence is acting in a way that values the values and beliefs in others. cultural safety is acting in a way, is a really introspective way of managing yourself rather than thinking about, it is still thinking about the person who's at the end of your care, but it's really introspective about how am I coming across to this person? How does this particular person want to be treated? What feedback do I need to get from this person? Because it is the person who is the patient who can tell you if you're culturally safe or not. I cannot tell you if my care is culturally safe. It's Lilu, isn't it? So if I am looking after Lilu, I might think that I'm being culturally safe, but only Lilu can tell me if I am culturally safe. And the way that I treat Lilu and the way that I treat Abraham, they both come from the Philippines, but Abraham may not want to be treated the same as Lilu because he has his own set of, he's brought up in a completely different context to Lilu. So, the next few moments, or for the next few minutes, we're going to watch a video called Barbecue Area. What I want you to do while you are watching Barbecue Area, hi Emily.
Hello.
What I want you to do while you're watching Barbecue Area is think about those aspects of cultural safety and consider how they have been violated in this video. So it's a satire, you'll see why it's a satirical piece. It flips what's happened in Australia on its head. So I'm going to start playing it now. People online, tell me if it doesn't work. So Emily, your job is to tell me if you can hear the sound, okay?
Yep, all right.
Can you hear that?
Yes.
Birds? Great. All right. So we'll watch this for 20 minutes and then we'll come back to the group. So you should all be jotting down notes here in the class, thinking about the cultural safety framework. This is to help you with your assignment.
What the hell's that? Where's this coming? Where else is it? Look at that. Looks funny. What looks What are you This is
What do you call this place?
It's a barbecue area.
Barbecue area?
They call this barbecue area.
Nice native name. Colourful.
I like it.
When the first black settlers arrived in Barbecue Area, they found a native population sheltering around primitive open fires, attempting to cook their food with crude implements, and even seeming to take pleasure in burning their meat. I've always been fascinated by white people. The evidence of their culture is all around us. Their art, their industry, their way of life. But what do we think of white people? Excuse me, sir. What do you think about white people?
White people? You've got to be joking. Well, I don't know. I've never met one.
I love their music. They can't dance, unfortunately, but I love their music.
Ten little whitey boys standing in a line. One got drunk and they were behind.
They're a developing people. They're starting to take an interest in the world around them. And this is a good sign.
5 years ago, I decided to find out more about these strange and fascinating people. So I came here, to this white ghetto, and I lived for 6 months with a typical white family in this typical white house. Do you remember the day I first came to stay with you?
Oh, yes.
Very good.
Yeah. Yes.
And what did you think when you first saw me? Good.
Oh, very good.
Yes.
A great honour.
I tried to fit in here, to live amongst these people as one of the family, with a minimum of disruption to their daily lives. I wanted to observe them as they really are. These are some of the first pictures I took of the family. The day starts with breakfast. This is a busy time. The family tell each other their dreams and their hopes for the day ahead. Then the father bids farewell to his loved ones as he leaves them for a day of hard work with the men. While the mother, happy with her role as homemaker, stays behind to tend to all the little things of family life. The children spend their day at school, learning about the ways of their people. At the end of the day, the family comes together for dinner, to eat and to share their experiences. They were a happy people, always pleased to have their picture taken, living simple, uncomplicated lives. A far cry from this image of white people, the one we see so often in the streets of our cities. What brings these poor people to this level? Why do they drag themselves through the sewers of our society? I tried to find answers to these questions, but sadly, everyone here declined to be interviewed. So I put this question to the Minister. Is it fair of us to expect white people to improve? Do they want to change?
Yes. And here in my department, we're doing everything we can to help them. We've created 32 new jobs in the last year, 7 new houses.
But what if they're happy the way they are?
It'd be morally wrong for us to leave them like that. We've got to do everything we can to help these people take their place in society. And I think most white people are happy with what we're doing for them.
But has the government tried to find out what white people want?
Why? I mean, we're the government. It's our job to make decisions about what these people want and give it to them.
It's a waste of money. We pour money into white people and what happens? They either end up drunk or in jail, or both.
Baba, Viola.
Do white people think the government is doing a good job?
Oh, yes.
Very good.
They look after us, don't they, kids?
The other night. Why can't
Can I just make sure that everybody has their phones themselves on mute, please, because it makes it difficult for us all to hear the video here. So please put yourself on mute. Sukaba, you're not on mute. Can you pop yourself on mute, please? Thank you.
they put on TV shows with white people in them?
Oh, yes, well, we say that, but it doesn't mean anything. We're really happy.
Very happy. Well, there you are. Any television managers out there? I'm not sure how practical it is, but what about a few programs with white people? White actors? Maybe even some stories about white people.
Wouldn't have to be all the time.
Let's take a closer look at white society, at what holds it together. And the key to this question, the key which unlocks the door to understanding the jigsaw puzzle, the missing piece is the family. Because despite all evidence to the contrary, white family ties are very, very strong. Way up high in this building, somewhere near the top, is a typical grandmother, and there are many like her. Her family brought her here because they wanted her to be safe, up above the troubles of the world, in a place so treasured and so sacred, hardly anyone ever comes here. The security here is strict, deliberately so, to discourage the casual passerby from calling in and interrupting her daily routine. Even this intercom is out of order. Is this carelessness, laziness, or is it deliberate? Another barrier in the way of a potential nuisance. What can you tell me about the customs of your people? How should I behave? What should I do when I go in there and see this old lady who only has up to half a dozen visitors a year?
Well, you could talk to her for a bit. She'd appreciate that. Mrs. Smith, a visitor.
Would you like a sweet biscuit, dear?
Mrs. Smith lives in a small flat, surprisingly clean, not a speck of dust anywhere, and as you can see, surrounded by souvenirs.
Mrs. Smith, who are these people?
Well, this is my son, and this is my daughter-in-law. These are my 2 grandchildren, and this is my little dog. I had to have her put to sleep before I came here. They don't allow dogs.
But you've still got the photos.
Oh, yes, they don't mind photos.
How far away does your family live now?
Oh, a long way, I think. I don't know. It must be a long way. They're always saying they'd like to see me more often, but it's too far out of their way.
And yet, despite the distances that separate them, the family is very close. They never miss ringing her at Christmas, on her birthday, and on Mother's Day.
Never miss.
And sometimes, they even ring up for no particular reason at all.
Hello, Mum. Hello, dear. How are you? Oh, no, we're all fine. Listen, here, have a chat to your little boy.
Good day, Mum.
Their austere design, their complete lack of decoration or adornment, gives no clue to the huge sums of money which pass through these doors every day, as the followers of this religion exchange their donations for these small prayer tokens. We can see some of the worshippers now as they stand, heads bowed in deep reverence, while they listen to the incantations broadcast over the TV set and study the details on their prayer tokens.
Line pretty steady. Racing and got them to a good start. Flying Shoes got the best of the start.
And then they pray. They pray for success, for wealth, for happiness. And they believe that the future course of their lives will be foretold by watching some trained horses run around a large circle.
Freckles Brown and Leg Warmer battling it out there. The line, Leg Warmer coming at Freckles Brown and Leg Warmer. Got there to win it, I think. Oh, gee, Brigantic and Flying Shoes flashed.
Strange, isn't it, that at the end of the broadcast, we saw many people here tear up their tokens and throw them away. But if you thought this action indicated a loss of faith in their religion, you'd be wrong. Many of these people will be back here tomorrow to exchange new donations for new prayer tokens. What simple faith. One of the important issues of today is the 200-year celebration, when we mark the 200th anniversary of our discovery of white people in Barbecue area. Some people are concerned that whites are being left out, excluded from the plans for this important occasion. Do you feel left out? Oh, I don't think so.
Left out of what?
The 200-year celebration.
Oh, I don't think so.
We didn't even know it was on.
But it's a celebration of everything that your people and my people have achieved together over the last 200 years.
Oh, it's a small party, is it?
There probably wouldn't be room for us then.
But you go ahead and enjoy yourself.
No, this is nonsense. We're all barbecuarians. This is for all of us. And even if certain people aren't actually in it, they can still see the whole thing on TV. We have 2 white people on one of our boards of management. And as a result of that, we are planning several events which will involve the direct participation of some whites. Now, they have a rich culture, and we would not want to be without their contribution. But if they're not happy with that, well, there's absolutely nothing to stop them from organising their own events. I mean, we're more than happy for them to celebrate this historic occasion amongst themselves. Look, they're always telling us they want to manage their own affairs. Now, isn't this the perfect opportunity to show us what they can do?
All right. So the Zoom session is going to end in the next few minutes. So I hope that gave you some ideas about how cultural safety might have been not adhered to in this video. We're not going to have time to go through it because we spent the first half of the lesson talking about the assessment piece. But why not post on the forum if you could spend 2 minutes posting on the activity forum, just one way in which cultural safety was contravened in this video, that would be great. Okay, guys. So to sum up, I'm just going to keep talking until we run out of time. To sum up, I'm going to hold an extra tutorial for NURS 20160 people here in the room at 4 o'clock. If we can't do it in the room, then we might go down to the Esplanade and do it along the Esplanade because it would be good to get some sunlight on our eyeballs. And for guys online, I'm going to try and do one on Monday at some point for you. So for those people who came late, I'm going to do an extra tutorial on Monday for NURS 20160 assignment questions only.
It's on 7 p.m., is it? Monday?
Time is not fixed. I got an email from Lydia about this consolidation. Did anyone know how we need to upload this consolidation activity in the Moodle?
No.
Hi. I don't reckon we should need to worry about all the tabling and everything because it's not compulsory. It's just feedback. All I did was just copied and pasted it in without the table, and I've sent it off that way.
Yeah, I just emailed to Lydia the consolidation. Then she told me to try it in the Moodle. Try to upload that one in the Moodle. So that one is live site, so it will come with the tables.
Oh, how do you do that?
I don't know. Did anyone have an idea?
Are you talking about the other subject?
Yes.
Right, yeah.
It is consolidation. I don't know because she told me to please upload that one in the Moodle.
Does she mean just in the consolidation thing though, like what we did last week? That's Moodle, isn't it?
I didn't understand where I need to put that.
I would just copy and paste it into the box where the text is meant to go and do it that way because it's just to get feedback. You know, like it's not going to be marked.
Without the tables, just the writing.
I wouldn't worry about all the formatting and that because it's just a lot of work just to get feedback. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I will also do like that because
That's all I did. I just copied and pasted it and left the table behind. The formatting actually came out okay. It was still easily readable. It just didn't have the lines of the table.
Yeah. Thank you. I don't know. She had given a quick reply today.
Huh?
She had given a quick reply today. I just put that one and she replied to me, please upload this one in the Moodle. That's
Right.
live side.
Yeah, I think that's all it is.
So do we have another lecture in here, or we need
No, the other one.
this one?
No, I think that's it.
Right? So 4 o'clock, she said?
She's doing one in Cairns at 4 o'clock about 20160, but not for, and she's going to do one for us Zoomies and upload it next week about the assignment, because everybody was worrying about the assignment.
Oh, okay. That would be great. But yeah, we have assignment due on Monday, isn't it? Coming Monday. 162 assignment.
Okay. Oh, you poor things.
Yeah, I'm still working on it. So, yeah. Did you all go good with the 162 assignment? Have you all finished?
I'm not doing that one.
Oh, okay.
Me either. Three's enough.
Yeah, really intense.
All right. Let me have some lunch. All right. See you later, guys.
See ya.
Bye, guys. Bye.